It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the movies of December 18th, 1992. So let's not waste any time. Jump on into it. We'll start off with the first movie that we have here, the biggest new release of the weekend. Mel Gibson in the drama Forever Young.
Daniel McCormick loved living on the edge.
If she comes with a warranty, I'll take her.
He wasn't afraid to face anything.
Helen, will you marry me?
Except the woman he loved.
I couldn't get the words past my throat.
But when he thought fate had taken her away,
Harry, I can't watch Helen die. I want to sleep for a year.
he took the chance of a lifetime.
Free's a human being.
He never imagined where it would take him.
It's cold. You think he's dead?
So what you're telling me is that he was lost, misplaced for 50 years.
Mom, I'm not making this up.
So you fellas do this a lot? Mess with classified military experiments?
No, sir. This is the first time. It's called television.
What the heck happened in the last 50 years? The FBI is on their way. Something's going on here.
I know.
Helen was in an accident, but she's alive.
Mel Gibson,
It's a matter of life and death.
Forever Young.
So you can definitely tell that this movie has its heart in the right place, and you can see that Mel Gibson clearly is trying to show that he can do dramatic acting in a movie like this. I mean, he's proven to do it before this movie came out, and I think there's a lot of good in this movie, but overall, the movie itself is kind of falls into the sappy category. It feels very generic, feels like very cliched romantic drama type of feeling that you get when you watch this movie. And like I said, it has a great concept to it. This idea of this guy being stuck frozen for 53 years, and then comes back and sees this world around him, and has to go back and see this to try to find this girl that he wanted to marry, but he thought was dead by this point. And it's a good concept, just a bad, I should take that back. Not a bad execution, just an execution that didn't quite work out so well. I think they tried it a little too safe on here. I think they were a little too, like I said, safe and marketable on this one. You can see that there is effort in here. Mel Gibson clearly is trying his best here, and I think he does a pretty good job in here. You also have Elijah Wood in here, Jamie Lee Curtis. I just think the overall and the way the movie ends up just doesn't really work out so well in the end. I really felt like this was a movie that could have been something really special, but it just didn't end up doing that. I felt like they were trying to go for this was kind of an Oscar baitish type of role for Gibson, and I mean, we've seen him in much better movies than this. I think this is a movie where he's trying his best, but the material he's given just isn't working out for him, and overall, it kind of makes the movie just okay. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just an okay movie. So that's Forever Young. Let's go ahead and move on to the next movie that we have here, and that is Robin Williams in Barry Levinson's Toys.
From Barry Levinson, the Academy Award-winning director of Rain Man. And Robin Williams, the star of Dead Poets Society.
I'm in the mood for smoked chicken. How about you?
Comes the story of a man who makes jokes.
I'm Leslie Zebo.
Makes love.
I like you.
Well, I like you too. I think love is wonderful.
And makes toys.
How do you feel?
Woozy.
That's what we'll call the woozy helmet.
This is a little uncomfortable, though.
Well, it's supposed to go in your ear.
Oh.
And a man who makes war.
Sit down, Leslie.
I don't understand why Daddy let Uncle Leland take over Zebo Toys.
I'm moving with the idea of putting in some war toys.
You never made war toys at Zebo.
I'm going to need that plus more space. General.
Now, only one man is courageous enough and outrageous enough to find a way to fight back.
The future is anarchy.
Let's wind up the troops.
A most unlikely hero in the most unlikely battle that ever saved the world. 20th Century Fox presents an extraordinary motion picture. Robin Williams in a Barry Levinson film.
So this is Paris.
Toys!
Make believe, not.
So I kind of feel like this was Barry Levinson's passion project. Like, this was something he wanted to do, but he wanted to wait until his street cred was more acceptable that he could do something like this. And he had already established his name at this point. He was a very good director with stuff like Diner, The Natural, Young Sherlock Holmes, Good Morning Vietnam, Rain Man, Avalon, Bugsy. But I don't know, this movie, I don't hate this movie like everybody else does, but I can definitely see why a lot of people, when this movie came out, really dismantle it, because it's very confusing. The story doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and the characters aren't really all that written well, especially Robin Williams, who's giving his best in this. I mean, this movie, in a way, it kind of reminds me of Forever Young, kind of. You have the lead actor giving his all, but he doesn't have a good enough script to work with here. It's a shame, too, because the movie looks so incredible. Those visuals in this movie look so amazing, and it's just like, you wish that they could have been used for something in a really good movie. With this, it's a nice, stylish-looking movie. I just think it doesn't really have a good idea of what kind of a movie it wanted to be. It felt like a movie that had so much ambition going into it, everywhere else except for the script. And this is what the end result is by the time we get done with it. It's just like, it's a great-looking movie, just a really bad script and not very good characters to work with, it's unfortunate, too, because Barry Levinson was on a roll at this point. He hadn't made a really bad movie, and even his worst movies that he made, like Tin Men, it wasn't really a bad movie. It just wasn't as good as his other works. But this is the first one where I really think he missed the ball on it big time. And for Robin Williams, too, this was a big misfire for him. And it's a shame because this movie has so much promise, and like I said, the visuals look so impressive. It just doesn't have anything to go with it on story or character-wise. It's just kind of there. It's just nothing really all that exciting about it, which is a shame because, like I said, the ambition is there, just not the execution. And that's pretty much all I got to say about Toys. It's kind of like Forever Young in a way. So much potential there. You see it in brief flashes, but there's just nothing there in the end. So, on to the next movie. Steve Martin and Deborah Winger starring in Leap of Faith.
Just off the main highway, at a wide spot in the road, is Rustwater, Kansas. Prime pickings for Jonas Nightingale.
Are you ready for a miracle?
Part showman,
I hear Satan knocking, but he can't come in.
part salesman,
We don't need no preacher selling us a lot of bunk. I'm not selling bunk, friend. I'm giving it away.
messiah of the interstate.
Take a whiff at what just walked in.
Special today steak, no liver, no fish, no ham, no spinach.
Awful lot of nose there, Margot.
No lip.
She wants me.
I think you should stick with your Bible pointers.
Incident in life, a little meeting.
Section 2. First row. The white shirt, back problem.
And you, sir, come on up on stage and cure your backaches.
You don't care what these people need. Their truck broke down and they're looking to cash in. I give my people a good show. Plenty of music.
All he's doing is selling fairy tales to a bunch of people who thank him for it.
Whoa! I feel a healing coming on.
My sisters think you're fake.
Well, maybe I am and maybe I'm not. Get the job done, what difference does it make?
Get the strength in your life.
You believe in miracles, right?
I'd like to hear what your sister has to say on the subject.
I believe in life. What it does to you, and what you do back.
Are you ready for the truth?
I'll bet the last time you had a man was when Nixon was in office.
No, you're so manipulative.
Manipulators are sneaky.
I'm obvious.
A series of alleged miracles have occurred in the town of Rustwater, Kansas.
Alleged. You said it, babe. They say a little faith can work wonders.
Hey, Rev, what about me?
I don't think I got any more healing power left in me tonight.
But once in a while, it just might do the impossible.
Are you worried this time, Jones, that somebody's actually up there watching?
Paramount Pictures presents Steve Martin, Deborah Winger, Leap of Faith.
Whoa! Am I in white boy heaven or what?
So there's a lot of things about this movie that don't work too well, but the stuff that does work is the way the characters are played. The cast in this is very good. Steve Martin, I think, is terrific in this movie. I like Deborah Winger a lot in this. Lolita Davidovich. You also have a young Liam Neeson in here. Lucas Haas. Meatloaf is in this. Philip Seymour Hoffman. MC Gainey. Just these people that you recognize, and you see that the writing is definitely there. There are some very funny moments in this movie. It doesn't work all the way through, unfortunately. I think it's a movie that's just kind of like there's a lot of elements there that do work, but I think the overall story is kind of cliched. You can kind of tell what's going to happen next, and you can kind of tell how it's going to end too, which is a shame because there's a lot here that really does work here. I think the acting overall makes it work, and there are funny moments in here, but like I said, this is a script that doesn't really surprise you in the end. You feel like you're just watching a good movie that could have been a whole lot better if the script had been a little more creative. And the end result is what you get here. A fun movie overall. Not one I'd watch on repeat. Not one of Steve Martin's best movies, but it's still a fun movie nonetheless. So that's Leap of Faith. Let's go ahead and move on to the last movie that we have for this week, and that is Used People.
You don't have to be so nervous, you know.
I'm not nervous.
If you want to get us a room.
All right.
Do you want to get it now?
Yeah, I'll get it now.
Do you want me to get it?
No, I'll get it.
Why don't you get it?
A trip to Bendel's and an hour at the beauty parlor. You would be surprised how fast a friend could become. I'll bring him home to meet your mother friend. Not moving to Florida. Neither mother. Mother's in the room. She can make her own decisions. I'm not moving to Florida.
Oh, bless my sister. She brought a date to her own father's funeral.
What's new, Tiger?
Sigh for a lovely long neck. Rapturously.
A family is like peanut brittle.
What?
It takes a lot of sweetness to hold all the nuts together.
Are you sure this wasn't The Graduate?
Yes!
So right off the bat, you got three top-tier actresses who've won Academy Awards. Shirley MacLaine, Kathy Bates, Jessica Tandy. You throw in Marcia Gay Harden in one of her early film roles, and you have Marcello Mastroianni in here. You think you have something special here, and it definitely looks like there is. I haven't seen this movie, so I can't really comment on it too much, but there's so many good, talented people in this movie. You'd think there'd be something there. Judging by this trailer, it does seem a little bit too formulaic, kind of. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Fried Green Tomatoes from last year, and I don't know. Maybe it is something that could be decent. I'm looking at some of the reviews on here. It's got very mixed reviews, like around 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of good reviews on it. But I mean, these people. I mean, this is a good cast overall. I think they can make this material work overall for a decent film. I'm not expecting to go into this looking like is having it be like one of the great movies, underrated movies. But I think there could be a lot more to this than these reviews let on. So maybe one day I'll definitely give it a shot. So that's pretty much all I got to say about Used People. So on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll look at Christmas weekend 1992, the last weekend of the year, with 6 movies, including Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito in DeVito's Hoffa, Trespass from director Walter Hill with Bill Paxton and Ice Cube in it, Ice-T as well, Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino and Chris O'Donnell, Peter's Friends from director Kenneth Branagh, Damage starring Jeremy Irons and Julia Binoche, and Robert Downey Jr. in Chaplin. So we'll look at those movies next time. But until then, thank you very much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I'll see you guys for the next episode. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, as always, take care.